Hey guys, welcome to my first how-to of trailer things. So I live in a little trailer and I sort of changed it. So I should just call it a tiny home or tiny trailer because it is tiny. And today I'm gonna replace my shower faucet. So I got this really nice, fancy one. Off Amazon because mine right now, it's leaking just from underneath it. So I just wanted to replace it, and I don't really like the white. Well, it's not really white, it's like off-white, like my background. I don't like that color, so I wanted to get the silver one. And then eventually I'm also going to replace the shower head and the hose that attaches to it. I just didn't do it this time because I was going to start small. So what you're going to need, and what I've already done, is I've turned off the water outside so that when you unscrew everything, that it doesn't just like spray water everywhere, which could definitely happen. Then you need your replacement, which is going to be this. And then this one comes with these little things. And I did know the name, but now I forgot. So anyway, and it just kind of sits on the back of here. From what I've seen, you don't have to add any like caulking or anything, but I have some anyway because I'm paranoid. And the last thing you want is a leak. And I know a lot about leaks in the trailer. So I'm just gonna put that on, and I've already cleaned out underneath my sink where everything hooks up. I haven't unscrewed anything yet, so we'll start there. Okay, so this here's the fixture that we're gonna be replacing today. And as you can see, it's been leaking down there and it just makes this corner all gross. And I just hate it. I mean, I don't love this whole shower setup anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this off, then I'm gonna clean it all really nicely, and we're gonna take it off by getting in here. And back here you can see these two parts. Let me come from down here maybe. So you're gonna unscrew these gray parts, and then these two hoses will just come off, and just kind of try to keep an eye on which one's hot, which one's cold. Alright, I don't know if you can see, but there's water coming out, which is not ideal. So let me pull out a few things. I don't want my precious toilet paper getting wet. Okay. I wonder if there's just a bunch of water in the line. Spilled a ton of water everywhere. Let me get a bowl. Okay, next piece of equipment, a Tupperware. So now, of course, it's not leaking anymore, but it could have like not leaked to begin with. So let's use some toilet paper and just dry this off again. Okay, so I'm gonna slide my little Tupperware under this side and hope that I don't get water everywhere. And remember, it's lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Okay, so now the leaking has started again. Okay, I'm just gonna let that empty into my Tupperware. Just tilt it down so that any water that wants to come out can. Okay, I'm just gonna let it drip out over the Tupperware and come around to the front. So let me step into my shower here. Okay, so now I'm gonna unscrew this part because I'm gonna keep the shower hose. That was easy. Okay, just kidding, you guys. These things here, these little washers, they have to come off also. So let me work on that. So here's the first one. And a soaking wet number 2. That sounded gross. And we're back on this side. So let's see. Oh, okay, that was much easier. So you can see that it's just the same as the one that I got off Amazon. It's just gross. And it has this little piece on it also, so that's pretty good. So I'm just going to take that off. I'm going to clean this a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, so I have my new faucet here, and just around the back of it, I'm going to put like the thinnest layer of caulking. Not to, do a ton in the way of insulation, but just like a tiny bit to just seal up those edges really nicely to make sure that there aren't any leaks in the future. Alright, cap back on. Okay, so now I'm just gonna head back over to where I took out the old one and we're gonna put it back in. So just to remind you, These are the two that I took off, and these are the two new ones that came with the fixture. So I'm going to use these this time. So here's my new fixture with the caulking, just a very thin layer. And then once I actually attach it, I'm just going to wipe that off, also the excess that comes out. So you're just going to put it back in these two holes and hold it on here. And then you're going to attach these little rings on the back side. Okay, I'll now show you what it looks like on the other side. So I just screwed in the back side, and now I'll screw in this front one here. So you just put it over and screw it on. And now I'm gonna tighten it tightly as I can. Okay, so those are both on, and now I'm ready to attach my water supply again. So the pipes, obviously they haven't moved, they stayed where they are. So this is the cold water, and this one back here that you can't really see because this one back here, that's the hot water. So I'm just gonna reattach them and then have to go outside, turn on the water, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I can take out the Tupperware now, since I won't be needing this, I hope. And just check and wipe up any excess down here. Okay, so I haven't tightened them as much as I could have yet, so I'm gonna try and do that now. Both of them are now on as tight as I can get them. Fingers crossed it's as tight as they were on when they started. I don't think so, so I might try to wiggle some more, but the other problem is if you over tighten them, it's also not good. I might just turn on the water and see what happens. Okay, and the last thing I gotta do is attach my hose again. All right, let's turn on the water. Okay, so I just went outside and I turned on the water. Note to self, turn off the shower before you turn the water back on. So when I walked in, all I could hear was water spraying everywhere. And of course, I was horrified. Because I'm like, oh God, I didn't attach the things tight. So there's just water spraying everywhere right now. Good news, the shower curtain wasn't closed, but it was confined to my shower, and it stayed in my shower, so that's good. So now I need to look under the sink and just kind of feel around and make sure there's no wet spots. So let's go down here. And we're back under the sink. So, something's wet. But let's dry it off again just to make sure that wasn't left over from before, and I hope there's no spray. So I'm going to turn on the shower hose. Okay, there's nothing wet. There's nothing wet down here. So all that water, or I mean it was just a little bit of water, was just left over. So I think we're all good. I attached it. It works well. Let's look at this shower head here. I'm going to turn on the hot water. Wow. Okay, so I guess my review would be it was actually super easy to do. My tips would be put a towel down just in case. I know not everyone's water is going to keep leaking like mine did, but just put down a towel just in case, or get a little dish to catch any water, even if it's just a few drops, you know. If it goes into kind of the inner workings of your trailer, you're sort of, you know, risking mold. It probably won't happen, but if it did, it would be a real shame. Then once you've got the water turned off and everything unhooked, you can put on the caulking. I don't think you have to. The instructions don't say that you have to. So you could definitely do it without. I now really wish that I had gotten a shower head. You know, it would just be really nice to have like a bigger one. But that's okay. We can always do that next time. In my next video, I'll show you how to change the hose and the shower head of your shower so that you can have a nicer shower head. And see if that does anything with the pressure also. And just a side note about my water pressure, I don't use my water pump at all, so that's probably got another thing to do with it. I don't know why I don't. It's just one of my things that I don't do. Anyway, if you guys have any questions about today, what we did today, leave it below in the comments. I'm gonna link down to the product that I used, just kind of show you. And it wasn't very expensive at all, so it's super easy. You don't really need any tools. I just hand tightened everything because it said to not over tighten anything because you would strip the little attachments. So you don't need anything. Super easy, super fast. just have a towel or something. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. I hope it was informative and you learned how to change your faucet in your shower, and that leads to better shower life in your RV or your tiny house, whatever it is that you have.